To begin with police action, a lot of it, in the story of a rising superstar named David and his dead underage girlfriend named Celeste Rivas Hernandez. We have heard it before, and we heard it again just last night, that Celeste ran away from her family again and again for a reason. Reports said that the girl's home life was troubled. Her middle school boyfriend, before she ran off with David, said that her mother treated her badly and that she often talked about running away. And now TMZ has the receipts of repeated police visits to Celeste's family home in Lake Elsinore, California, 70 miles away from the Hollywood Hills, where Celeste sought refuge in David's mansion. TMZ has learned that the Riverside County Sheriff's Department responded to calls about Celeste's family or from Celeste's family about 11 times in a little over a year. The dates are February 24, 2024 to April 2025. And remember, the family reported Celeste missing for the last time in April of 2024. So those calls continued for a year while she was ostensibly missing. And until this week, we believed that April of 2024 was the last time that they'd seen each other, right? Celeste and her family. But now we know different. And I'm going to come back to that in a hot minute. All of the police visits were listed as, quote, minor crime investigation, except for one of them. And that one was described as, quote, suspicious circumstances. Again, no details available from the police, but the dates of these calls speak volumes. 3 of the calls happened on one day, March 19th. 2024, which, by the way, yeah, that's the day that Celeste ran away. She was caught on surveillance camera in a neighborhood liquor store, running down the street at 7 a.m. A black car was seen pulling out after her, but it's not clear if Celeste had gotten into it. This was just something that happened that the liquor store owner saw, but it wasn't caught on tape. 2 of the 3 visits that day were to Celeste's home. Cops came to her home 2 times, but the 3rd visit that police made was to that liquor store. Celeste's sister also visited that liquor store on that day and asked to review that surveillance video. One of the other police visits that TMZ documented was at 9:29 p.m. on April 5th, 2024. That time is about a half hour after the family reported her missing to the police for the very last time. So they report her missing at 9 p.m. and at 9:30 the police are at their door. Officially, Celeste was still missing when her badly decomposed remains were found here in this impound lot in the front trunk of David's Tesla. This was 23 days ago. But was Celeste really still missing without a trace at this point? The other day, TMZ acquired video of Celeste in her parents' backyard on September 8th of 2024. That's 5 months after she supposedly ran off for the last time. And it's also 1 day after her 14th birthday. Amazingly, the coincidence here is that it was 1 year to the day that her remains were discovered in David's trunk. This video was shot and released by neighbors. A different neighbor who heard the argument spoke with our Banfield producers on the ground in Lake Elsinore just today. Have a look.
The first time I saw her, she was walking down the street early in the morning. It was during the colder months, I remember. It was just a 1 second. I was driving down the street and I saw her like big, beautiful curls. And I'm like, oh, that little girl's so pretty. And then I just went on my way. But that was probably like maybe 6 months before she went missing the first time in February 2024. And then I saw her, well, I didn't see her again. I heard her again when she came in through the apartments. But yeah, I didn't know she was the missing child from next door. I have lived here since February of 2023, so almost 3 years. I've never met the family. I don't know their names. I don't know how many people live there. I just know there was a lot of cars parked out usually, at least 5 cars in the driveway, most of the time, most of the days. But I don't know who the family is. My backyard peers into their backyard, and I can also see their driveway, the front yard. I've never heard or seen police officers at their house. At any time, I think I would have noticed that, unless it was late at night where I was asleep, but I never noticed any police activity at Celeste's home. So the video circulating with Celeste coming into the apartments being a little upset, that video was only released to pinpoint her timeline of her missing. And that's the only reason why it was released, because on September 8th, 2024, she was technically still missing.
You bet. And again, I want to reiterate, September 8th, 2024, 1 year later, she'd be found dead in the trunk on that very day. And it's also the day after her 14th birthday that she was in that backyard. So maybe she was home celebrating her 14th birthday the day before. Our producer spent most of this day in that neighborhood where Celeste lived, but where Celeste could not wait to leave. Have a look at what they found.
Celeste was a frequent customer at this liquor store. The cashier tells us she appeared often after school with friends and alone. She also appeared one time on security camera footage after she had been reported missing. And we thought that was the last time we had seen Celeste. But just up the street is the house where she appeared later on security camera footage arguing with her neighbors. This is the property where Celeste was seen arguing on surveillance footage with her neighbors after being reported missing. But despite that argument, just next door is Celeste Memorial. It's grown in recent days. You can see the candles there and the poster board there and this new banner bearing her face. And just next door to this memorial is Celeste's home, which we now hear that police came to 11 different times for disturbances.
One of the owners of the liquor store told our producers today that they had seen police headed in the direction of Celeste's home on multiple occasions, but they couldn't confirm if the police actually stopped at Celeste's home. Celeste's parents haven't been seen at that home since her body was identified, and they've spoken in public only one time. If you have followed the story online, you probably saw the speculation that Celeste's mother or her father maybe were undocumented immigrants, and maybe that's why they went underground, fearing that they would be grabbed. Who knows? But I can tell you this. We can now report exclusively that both of her parents are in the United States legally. Records acquired by private investigator Steve Fisher show that both of them received Social Security numbers around the date 2001. Our producer spoke with another woman today who did not want to be identified on camera, but said that she's a former neighbor of the family. She said they all lived in public housing from 2019 to 2020. And she said she occasionally heard Celeste's parents arguing, and often about custody of their children, though there's no indication that they are divorced. The woman said that Celeste was a sweet little girl whose mom would keep her close at all times.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.